of the new Batavia Skatepark. You can see around me right here. Super cool park. Let's dive in and show you the whole park. I did low-key come here to skate it and like give you examples and stuff. What do you know? I get here and it's just covered in black ice. It's cold, it's rainy. I don't know what happened. I left the area of Chicago and this is what I come over here to. So we're out of luck, just gonna tour it, show you what's here. I know I did a TikTok video on it. They got like 40,000 people to watch. I figured I'd make a long form video now. Okay, so there's a giant pump track back here. Let's talk about it. Usually when I see a pump track, and I think most people when they see a pump track, they think automatically like it's just for bikers, which fair enough. It is oftentimes for bikers. However, I did try out this pump track on my board when I was here the first time I showed up, and it's actually really fun on your skateboard. It's a great way to warm up, get your legs moving. You know, I know a lot of people talk about like, should you stretch before you skate? Should you wait till, you know, you skate a little bit then stretch? I don't know what the correct answer is on that, but what I do know is this pump track is a great way to get your legs moving before you hit this park. And it just, I don't know, it's fun to cruise around something, you know, every now and then. Not trying to just hit a box or hit a flat ground trick. It's a nice area to kind of like go over there and do your thing. Let's talk about the bowls now. I guess you kind of have like this bowl, so to speak, and then you have this one, which is actually a real bowl. And it kind of has two sides to it. There's this side and the deep end. The reason I call this first part a bowl is precisely because it kind of has like a deeper end to it right here. And you can see right there, there's a little part where it goes up and it's almost like a little half pipe, if you will, right over there. But this bowl, I think it's just like a great way for, you know, maybe if you're not trying to skate a deeper bowl like this one, it definitely takes a lot less out of you to be skating this one. It's just a fun way to like practice and learn. I know it's roughly about the same height or same depth for this one's like deeper side, so to speak, as this one's shallow side is, which again makes it pretty nice. I know I don't have my skateboard with me because it's wet down here, but I actually like the depth of this one's like half a bowl or whatever you want to call it. I know it might be controversial. Someone might say like this is just, you know, it's like a transition piece, I think is what people call it. But it is kind of like a half a bowl, if you will. You know, it has a little curved edge to it right over here. When I did ride in it, it's really smooth. I like that they have a little transition piece where it kind of goes up right here. And you almost have like a little mini half pipe ahead of here. I'll show you that. I kind of use this as like a practice half pipe, if you will, because it's pretty short. It's like, what, 3.5 feet right there, 3.5 feet. Super chill, super mellow. This park has so much more to it, though. I'm just kind of starting from the back, working my way to the front. There's an incredible street section of this park that I cannot wait to show you. We're going to dive right into that right now. Starting off, I love these big giant banks. They're just great for speed. I like that they have kind of this flat coping up here so you don't feel like you have to lock into coping if that's not your thing. And it's kind of fun for doing like tail slides and, you know, nose blunts, whatever up there. And it gives you a lot of speed for this, which we're going to talk about. They have this nice rail right here for this A-frame, but one little criticism I have is this hip being rounded. I personally never knew what to do with these rounded hips. I suppose you could get creative and just treat it as if it's like a triangle one. I do wish it was a triangular hip. That would be my one and only criticism. Other than that, I think this A-frame right here can be used in place of that, since this has, you know, a flat edge to it. And just treat it how you would treat a regular hip, I suppose. I really love this transition thing, how you can just kind of like hit the coping right here and go around. I thought that was super creative. I don't see this too often at parks. Let's talk about this section right here. Super, super cool section. So behind me, you can see they have a Euro gap and a big down rail, which I know is kind of like the intermediate to advanced style rail. But I like that it's one of those pole jam rails. I know people get super creative with that. I like how I'm doing this review and it's just like a wet park with ice on the ground. They have a staircase right here. I'll show you a closer view of this staircase and this whole thing, because it's got some unique parts to it that I think it looks like a staircase, but there's more to it. I'll show you. Also, real quick, there's a little ledge right here. I'll show you real fast before I get into that. Check out this street ledge right here. This thing is prime. I actually really like the height on it. If you look at it right here, you can tell it's like a pretty good height. I'll walk right up to it. For me, it's like a little bit less than knee height. This is great for practicing your ledge tricks. and you have a little core pipe to get speed for it. So that's all good. Back over to talk about this whole staircase situation here. Look at this cool design right here. So the thing I like about it, first off, is that you could ride up this ramp and you can just go across the coping, so you can get creative with that. I also like that, you know, there's also the other level to do that. You can do it at this lower level. Maybe you just want to like start short and then work your way that way. You can do that. Another thing I've seen someone do is gap from there over to this coping and then gap over that. I already saw someone try that. I think it's just kind of cool because it kind of doesn't really like leave you feeling like there's only one way to skate this thing. There's just so many different ways. There's probably ways I haven't even like named yet that, you know, you could skate this. You could probably do like a grind, drop, grind, or I don't know. People can get really creative with that. The fact that it like continues on. So that's another super cool thing about that. Now we'll continue on to over here because there's a lot going on over there. So right on top of this section, so this is the core pipe that gets you over to this stuff. But right here, they kind of have this like 2.5, maybe 3 foot tall quarter pipe, which I think is great for learning and practicing tricks. But that kind of gives you speed for this section, which we'll get right into that. This right here is for my beginner to intermediate skaters, for sure. This is a really good height to get onto. I mean, look at this from here. It's a nice way to kind of learn to, you know, go from flat to skate a hubba. It's just a great way to eventually skate a bigger hubba and get comfortable. So I really like that. I think the pop from this going up to here might feel a little bit higher, but I think it has to be that way since it's like a bump to ledge. And then you have this bump over the ball, which I saw a couple of people saying they wish the ball was further back. I saw someone say they wish it was closer so they could wall ride it. I don't know. I think they had to do that in between medium. I personally think it's good. I can tell people have already done wall rides on it. So yeah, I like this little section. Super fun. I'll show you the next section over here. Actually, on this side, I actually saw someone do a pop 50 and then drop to this coping. So I'm glad they put coping there. I think that's cool. Also, I saw a kid trying to learn a new trick on this, which is great. I think like if you're trying to, especially someone like myself, you know, trying to learn tail slides, it's a great way to kind of like practice on a ledge as long as no one's there and you're not interfering with what someone's doing. They actually have a really good height round rail here. If you look at this, it's like under knee height, pretty good. Honestly too, there's a lot of space coming down from the core pipe ahead, and there's a lot of space over there to get run up for this rail. So it's kind of a nice little like rail run back and forth. You can stand at the top of the core pipe, wait for someone to go. It's a nice chill little run. You could also whip it around and, you know, just use the rest of the street section, which I'll show you the last part of the street section over here. There's a lot going on right here. I love this section. First off, this curb up here, absolutely genius. It has a little ramp to curb, which is great for slappies. You can also hit a slappy coming up from this way, so it's like you can go both front side and back side. I know you could also do that here, but I think it's cool to have it from flat as well. I use it as like a curved board slide drop. That was a lot of fun for me. So it's like, again, a lot of room for creativity. Really cool thing. They also put coping right here, so you can ride them flat and hit the coping and go off of that. Maybe do like a no comply slide, whatever trick you want to do there. They also have another bump to flat ledge for a little bit right here, which is really cool. I'll show you kind of a close-up view of this stuff here. I mentioned you can do a little bump to ledge. The one thing, this out ledge has a pretty tall drop off. I mean, look at this. You can see how deep. The one thing, this out ledge has a pretty tall drop off. I mean, look at that. Here it is from this perspective, which I guess in some respects that's good for learning. It's not that tall to get onto, so it can kind of warm you up for a taller ledge, which I think pretty cool. They have this little roll-in, which I think is really good for this section. It gives you just like the perfect amount of speed that you can get from coming all the way over there and, you know, ride this section. It can be kind of like you sit at the top of the quarter pipe, wait for your turn. This hip, I love it. I know it's short, and some people are saying it's like too short, but honestly, I think if you're a beginner, it's great for practicing. I think this little piece right here is really special for this quarter pipe. Not only does it extend it, but it's just a different style of angle iron that you can just go up to and grind. So super fun extension piece right there. You're probably gonna wonder, should I go to this park? Where is it? All those fun details, I'm about to give them to you right now. I'm all the way down here, but after all, this is Batavia Skatepark at the Clark Island Recreation Center in Batavia, Illinois. They do not have lights here. That might be one little downside of it. But honestly, Maybe one day they'll get solar powered lights or something if, you know, enough people show up. Who knows? Who knows? But I think for now, it being without lights is chill in my opinion. It could be a cool lit up park, especially since there's not really like houses to bother with around here. The nearest house is like ways down there that I don't think would be bothered. So maybe they should have lights on a second thought. But I like how there's no fence here. I like that, you know, it can be for bikes, it can be for skateboards. I do think the skateboard population will outrun the bike population coming here. When I was here with bikes, they seemed to hang out with just the area in the back, which is super chill, kind of gives you like a degree of separation so you're not running into bikes. I think I'm gonna give this park a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite parks Spohn Ranch has built all year, so shout out to Spohn Ranch for building this park. They absolutely killed it, did a great job planning and executing. Honestly, yeah, 10 out of 10 park. It serves all purposes. Street, transition, it checks off the boxes. So great park and highly recommend coming here. If you're in the Batavia area or in the Chicagoland area, I recommend you sweep by. And even if you're coming in from out of town, I recommend you hit this outdoor skate park in particular. All right, if you're new here, maybe it's the first time seeing a video on my channel, hit that subscribe button. I do skate park reviews here and there. If you scrub through my content, you'll see a couple other ones. So thank you very much for being here, and I talk to you later. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.